Hello and welcome. I'm Saffron from saffrondominises.com, and today's video is all about positive tapping. This is a big request from lots of clients. I very often have clients ask me, when can I bring in positive tapping? And it'll be that we're working on something challenging and they just want to get to a nice place. Completely understandable. Positive tapping can be a really good tool in and of itself. You can, if you're just feeling a bit fed up, you can sort of motivate yourself and increase your energy levels with a bit of positive tapping, and that can be really brilliant. But when you're working on something challenging, there is a real temptation to jump ahead to positive tapping, especially if you're really into affirmations, especially if you love doing your positive thinking, which is brilliant stuff. But when we're tapping, we really want to get into the reality, the negative, I guess, because this is how we clear it. And when we jump ahead to the positive tapping, we can miss out on a lot of healing. We can just sort of shut out the negative rather than going through it and out the other side. If you just turn your back on it, it's still there. And so what we need to do is we need to move through it, we need to fully explore it, and we need to let it go completely. And then we can move on, we can move forward, we can prevent ourselves from getting stuck. So when you're tapping, I would say you want to get the negative down to below a 3. If you can, get it to 0 before you bring in any positive tapping. But at the very highest, it needs to be a 3. So if you can get it a 1 or 2 or 0, then that's much better. And then you can bring in positive tapping. So how do we do that? Well, there are lots of different ways. It depends on the issue that you're working on, of course. So you can imagine a new and more positive future if you've been working on something that you've been worrying about. Say you've got an interview and you've been worrying about all the terrible things that could happen. You first want to tap on, even though I've got this interview and I'm so sure it's going to go really badly and I feel really terrible and I don't feel qualified and la la la, and wait until you get your feelings of negativity really low around that, and then you can begin to tap on, but actually I am qualified, and this is something that I know, and that's something that I know, and I have this qualification and this piece of experience, and you can bring in the actual evidence that's going to support that. Another really good way of doing it is to go back and forth on the negative and the positive. So I don't feel qualified. Yes, I am qualified. No, I'm not qualified. Yes, I am qualified. And you would have, you'd go into more detail than that. It's about voicing your inner thoughts. So the back and forth is a really good way of testing out where you're up to, because you can say, actually I'm feeling really good and I'm feeling full of energy. If it's not true, you will have a little inner voice, and it might only be tiny, you might have to tune in to hear it, saying, no, you're not full of energy. No, you're not good enough to do this interview. No, you're not good enough for whatever it is. And that's what you want to voice, because while you sort of go no, 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 and shying away from it, it's in control. When you look at it and say, okay, so you think I'm not good enough. Part of me thinks I'm not good enough. Part of me thinks I'm not good enough. And as we're tapping, we're clearing the energy, and that feeling of I'm not good enough will begin to feel less and less true. So let's do some tapping for tuning into the negative. So even though I really don't want to tune into the negative, that's okay. And I'm okay. And I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And even though I only want to do positive tapping, because I don't want to create more of the negative in my life, I accept I feel that way, and I love and accept myself. And even though this negative tapping is making me really fed up and it's making me really anxious, I love and accept myself anyway. I hate this negative tapping. I hate even using the word hate. I just want to jump to the positive. I really want to jump to the positive. But maybe there's something I'm missing. Maybe it wouldn't just be affirming the negative. Maybe I can do this negative tapping to clear these negative emotions. Why don't I just give it a try? It won't take me long to see whether the negative tapping works, whether the negative emotions decrease. I can just give it a try. And then once I'm done, I can do positive affirmations for the rest of the day. In fact, I'll do some positive affirmations now, before I even start on the negative. And as I'm tapping round, I'll listen to my inner voice. I'll see what thoughts come up in response to these positive affirmations. And that's what I'll work on next, while I'm doing the tapping. Okay, so now I'm going to do a round of positive affirmations. So you can tap round with me. Every time something comes up from your negative inner voice, make a little note of it, and that's what you can tap on next. So we'll start on the eyebrow point because we don't need a setup for this one. I love and accept myself. Everything is as it should be. I am in perfect health. The universe supports my highest good. Everything is as it should be. I am safe and I am loved. I am wholly supported. I love and accept all of myself. Take a deep breath. And that can actually be a really good way of finding out what it is that you need to tap on next, because we're not always sure what's holding us back. So if you want to do some EFT but you feel like you haven't got anything to work on, doing some positive affirmations can bring up that negative voice, and then you've got something to work on. So let me know how you get on. saffron@saffrondemenezes.com. Contact us through the Facebook page at Saffron de Menezes Coaching and Card Reading. Visit the website www.saffrondemenezes.com, and if you have any requests for future videos, give me a shout and I will see what I can do. See you soon. Bye.